Today I'm showing you my yogurt panna cotta recipe with some bruleed figs on the side. Panna cottas look difficult, but they're so easy to do. And I think people are a little bit scared of it just because you do need to try and get that little wiggle. But I'm going to show you my ratio, which is basically 1 tablespoon of gelatin bloomed in a little bit of water. So you just want to scatter that on top. We'll set him aside, let him do its thing. And to that, you're going to need about 3 cups of cream, or in this case, 1.5 cups of cream and 1.5 cups of yogurt. So with the cream, what I want to do is put half of it into this little pot, and this will be the vessel that we will be melting the gelatin in. Some sugar. All right, with the vanilla bean, you want to scrape down the bean. So first you got to split it and then just run the edge of your knife along the inside. You get that beautiful bean. That's going to go into there. Give that a nice little mix. And as that comes to a nice simmer, we're just going to take him off the heat and in goes our gelatin. Before I went on MasterChef, I wasn't very much into my sweets and I never understood the whole putting something on the heat, taking it off, putting it to cool. So I skipped this step one time and then put the gelatin in thinking that it was gonna work. No, there was just clumps of gelatin in my panna cotta, which was really just cream because it didn't set. So you gotta remember, with gelatin, any recipe that requires gelatin, that you do need to put it into something hot so the gelatin does melt and kind of go through the whole mixture. So you can see here that our cream and sugar and vanilla bean has come to a nice little simmer. There's bubbles, which kind of shows that it did have a little bit of heat applied to it. So now I'm just gonna turn off the heat, set this aside, pop my gelatin into it, make sure all of that gets in there. Give that a nice mix with my whisk to melt the gelatin. If you want to, you can put this mixture into a bowl because it does cool down a lot faster that way, but it's my market kitchen. We don't want things to be too complicated. Less cleaning up, don't worry about it. Rest of the cream goes in. It just means that when we're setting this later, that it will take a little bit longer in the fridge, but that's okay because I'm making this for afternoon tea. I don't need to use it straight away. Let's mix him up. And I'm also adding some Greek yogurt into this because the Greek yogurt is quite acidic, so it's going to be really beautiful when it goes with that delicious vanilla bean. With the Greek yogurt, I want 1.5 cups, so the same amount as my cream. Panna cottas are one of those things that you can kind of make any flavour with them, and that's why they're actually done so often, because all you're doing is flavouring the cream or the milk. So you can put some lemon zest in there if you want, you can put some lime zest, you can put honey in it, cinnamon, ginger. If you do a little bit of ginger, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, that gives you kind of your chai or gingerbread flavours. Cardamom will add that chai into it. We just want to make sure that that's really well combined with a tiny pinch of salt, just to help all those flavours bind and come out. Always hard work. I always get nervous making a panna cotta because I think that, oh, maybe I've added too much gelatin, not enough cream, but this recipe always works. Our panna cotta mixture is done. We just need it to set now. So I've got my Reiko oven tray here, which is really versatile. I'm gonna use that as kind of my little carrier for my ramekins, and also these little guys, and a glass. Because I didn't have all of the same things and I've got quite a little bit of mixture here. So you wanna pour this right into your molds. Little set desserts. Doesn't take too much time. Perfect for every dinner party. Now obviously the ones that are a little bit bigger will take a little bit more time to set, but that's okay. It's definitely worth it. And I've got one in a glass here that I won't be demolding. Instead you can just have it in the glass. What a perfect amount of mixture. So that's done. I'm just gonna pop these guys into the fridge. 30 minutes for the smaller molds and probably 45 for the bigger ones. But you can leave it for longer, it's not gonna matter. As soon as that temperature drops, the gelatin will set and it will give it that nice little wobble. My panna cotta's out of the fridge. They're looking absolutely beautiful. I'm ready to get into them and demold for you guys. But just before I do that, I will brulee these figs. I said it before and I'll say it again, if you don't have a blowtorch at home, I really recommend that you do go out and get yourself one. They're really easy to use, little bit dangerous, but if you use them properly, the effects are amazing and they make cooking so much easier and they're not really expensive. So, onto these figs, I'm gonna put a little bit of sugar. Hit that sugar with a blowtorch. So what we're doing by hitting that sugar with the direct heat is we're caramelizing it and taking it really, really, really far, basically, so that the sugar becomes a little bit bitter, which is beautiful against the sweetness of the figs. Time to demold. I've got a little bit of warm water here. This always helps the demolding process. Sharp knife into that warm water. Our panna cotta goes into that warm water as well. Make sure the water doesn't go actually into the panna cotta. That would be a disaster. We're gonna run the knife along the inside of our little mold. That should come out now, but the hot water would have melted the outer side a little bit. So there will be a little bit of liquid, but that's okay. Just help it along. Nice little wobble. We're just gonna put our figs onto the plate. Got some walnuts here that I've roasted. Goes beautifully with figs. We're just gonna lay them around. Nice little scattering. That's the one I've demolded, but this one, you can literally just have it with some chopped up figs. Crushed walnuts, same dish, plated a little bit differently. Little bit of fig that I've caramelized as well, just sitting on top. Absolutely beautiful. Give this a go for yourself. This is my yogurt panna cotta with brulee figs.